Hey there guys, John here of course, and today we're going to be doing a quick little in the field video around this little fella. Now this is of course the Stanley stainless steel multi-use water bottle. Now although I'm not going to be doing a review on this today because I've already got one on my other channel, I'll include a link up here in case you're interested in that if you're not familiar with this piece of gear. I do want to say that this has been one of those pieces of gear that has been invaluable. I love this piece of gear, man. This little mug rocks. And the way that I use it is basically I use it when I'm in the bush and want to do some campfire cooking. It's just something good to have along with me. Obviously I can carry my water in it, but what I can also do is throw it right on the fire, and it's really sturdy being made out of stainless steel. Allows me to get a cup of coffee going or even a quick meal. Now, that's about all I use it for. With that said, I was recently asked a pretty interesting question, and that was, would this bottle work with an alcohol stove? And if so, what alcohol stove would that be? Well, I didn't have an answer for that, honestly. And so what I did was a little bit of testing. And I came up with a pretty cool little answer. Out of the alcohol stoves that I had, I found one that with some slight modifications worked wonders, works just awesome with this little mug here. So anyway, we're gonna break that out. I'm gonna show you guys what that stove is, how well it works with this. Now don't get too worried here. We're not gonna make you boil or watch boiling water for 20 minutes or anything. Simply gonna show you it in application really quick, show you how well it actually does work with this Stanley mug, see what you guys think. Well, as you can see, I've got my trusty old lumbar pack with me here, and this is something I'll carry out in the bush with me a lot. Now, of course, over here I've got my Stanley bottle, which is going to be the subject of the test today. One thing I did want to say is, you notice something around here. That is just a small section of windscreen that we will be using. And going into the pack here is where our little stove is. And this is it, guys, right here. This was my answer to the question of what alcohol stove works with the Stanley mug. And as you can see, it's a nice compact little setup that just appears right in the pack there. Let me give you a better look at this here. Of course, I've got a little 2-ounce bottle of alcohol there. And this is the stove itself. Nothing really fancy or complicated about this. What I have done with it is, actually before we get into that, let me show you something here. This is a typical aluminum bottle stove, okay? And you notice the size difference there. It's pretty extreme. So that alone says a lot. So made a couple modifications to this. What we've done is we've actually used a 1/32 drill bit on the jets here and actually increased the number of jets. And what that did was tighten up the flame pattern on this quite a bit, which allows it to work really well with the water bottle. Now let me get my whole setup here. In that water bottle holder, one thing I carry underneath the whole setup, just help the stove prime a little faster, is just a little piece of tin foil here. So we're actually going to get that set up under the stove, and that's about that. Next is we will go ahead and add about 3/4 of an ounce alcohol or so, and that's what I found to be fairly efficient in getting about 16 to 20 ounces of water boiling on this Stanley mug. So we'll go ahead and light that priming pan, if I can get my lighter to work here. So go ahead and get that priming pan lit, and with the smaller jets on this, actually it takes them a little bit longer to prime if you're just using the stove, but I've noticed with the priming pan you really get a bloom really quickly this way. So that's why we're going to be doing that. Now next we'll just go ahead and take off our top portion, and I've got about 20 ounces of water in here, so I'm actually going to dump that some of that out to where we were running about 16 ounces here. So we've got the 16-ounce mark inside there, and we're just going to go ahead and set that right on there. Next, we are going to wrap our windscreen around there just to increase efficiency a little bit and see how fast we can get some water to boil up in here. Alright, well we're at about the 6-minute mark here, and as you can see we've got some boiling water, so that ain't too shabby. Well, there you go. That's about all there is to it, guys. I think you'd agree that that little mini bottle stove works pretty well with that Stanley mug. Great combination there. Nice compact little stove that'll disappear right in your pack. There's not much to it. So if you're packing the Stanley bottle for purposes of, just saving space, a good multi-use item, it's not going to add anything extra, toss that little tiny bottle stove in there with it. So anyway, that was the conclusions that I came up with, the answer to the question of what alcohol stove works best with the Stanley stainless steel bottle. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching, appreciate the support, and until next time, we'll be seeing you later.